Good morning and Happy New Year to everyone. We decided to spend the day at Madison County Ford with none other than the best-selling vehicle in the US, the 2019 Ford F-150. This particular F-150 is the nearly loaded Platinum trim, which will be the focus of this review, but we will also be covering some other trims in separate videos later in the year. And if you're in the market for any new Ford, be sure to stop by their dealership or pay them a visit via their website, which we provided a link to in the video description. Now, Ford has been very good about making at least some changes every year, and 2019 is no different. So let's go ahead and check out one of the most luxurious trucks. So starting out with the exterior of the Platinum, since the styling was just refreshed last year, nothing has changed for 2019. The Platinum's grille is unique from all the other trim levels, featuring two central bars and a silver mesh filling. Those bars extend out of the grille where they are bracketed by LED headlights that wrap entirely around the outside. And then at the bottom there are also LED fog lights. Checking out the side, Platinums are somewhat limited in the available configurations. You have to get this full 4-door Super Crew, but you can still choose between short and standard sized beds. Around back, Platinum of course scores you the signature silver tailgate with the Platinum engraving, as well as the fancier LED taillight combination. Off to the side, you still have the side-mounted chrome exhaust, whereas the new limited model will have dual exhaust in the back. Overall, despite the F-150 no longer being the newest truck on the block, it still has a very handsome and upscale design, which has presence. Now, part of the upscale appearance comes from these wheels. They're 20-inch alloys, which I believe are the only factory option available for the Platinum grade. If you do want 22s, then there will be a limited trim, which we'll hopefully be able to review once one arrives at dealers. Coming up to the mirrors, like the rest of the truck, they are fully loaded. We have power adjusting, chrome caps, turn signals, heating, power folding, and auto dimming, as well as blind spot detection that even monitors the trailer. And then for all your other safety systems, our model's technology package adds them all, excluding the auto brake with pedestrian detection, which is now included on every single F-150 for 2019. Now heading back around to the rear, let's talk towing. There are 3 different engines, several axle ratios, 2 drivetrains, and several other variables. So I'm just going to quote this particular model. We have the Super Crew 3.5 liter EcoBoost 4x4 3.55 axle ratio and the max trailering package, which means therefore that our rating is 13,000 pounds. If you are comparing, that does exceed the new Silverado High Country. As far as the bed, it has all the features we're used to seeing on F-150s, like the power tailgate release, LED lighting, and customizable accessory slots. Our Platinum also comes with a very nice factory bed liner and the typical Ford assist step. Finally, we'll end the outside at the fuel tank. When you choose the max trailering package, it throws in the extended 36-gallon fuel tank, which in this case is good for an insane 674-mile range. But anyways, that's it for the outside. So now let's move on to the luxurious cabin. So as you would expect, the Platinum does come standard with smart entry, as well as the remote start system. And then to get inside the vehicle, all you have to do is just grab the handle. When you open it up, you will notice that the Platinum does come standard with power deploying running boards. But anyways, taking a look inside the 2019 F-150, As you can tell, nothing has really changed this year, so it continues to be very luxurious. Premium leather is standard on the Platinum, and you've got two different color choices, a standard black or this really rich dark marsala color. And then turning over to the door trim, it is also nicely appointed. You have really soft leather through here, soft touch plastic up top, and then you have genuine open pore wood through the middle part. Your front two windows are one touch automatic. You do have power folding mirrors, and additionally 3-person memory seating here on the Platinum. Then coming over here to the seats themselves, they are 10-way power adjusting with 4-way lumbar support, and they do even have massaging, which is available through the Sync 3's display. As far as the leather itself, it's really high quality, very soft and supple, and then you've got the really nice looking contrasting piece right through here, as well as your Platinum badging. As far as getting into the vehicle, the power deploying running boards drop down nice and low, and then you've still got your assist grip, so it's quite easy. Like I said, looking around the cabin, you won't really notice any changes, but it continues to be really high quality. All of your upper dash is made from a soft touch plastic with stitching. And then dropping down, you've got a piece of real open pore wood. There's more of that open pore wood over here on this cover. And then everything else does fit together very solidly and seems high quality. To start the vehicle, all you have to do is press this button. When you press it, you'll see the 8-inch Sync 3 display fire up. And over here at the gauges, you'll also see the 7-inch digital gauge cluster start up. Now this is the same as you've seen in various Ford products for years. It's a very nice setup. You have tons of different functions. You've got your fuel economy, different information, as well as your status as far as your trailering and your off-road status. So much like the Raptor we were in earlier today, you've got your different angles as well as your power distribution for the 4-wheel drive system. So this is really nice information to have. Coming back to the steering wheel, it is electric power assisted, and you've got a really soft and supple leather with some more color contrast stitching. Over here you've got your standard buttons for that display, as well as for your adaptive cruise control. And then over here you've got your regular phone and volume and voice commands. Up above the wheel you do have rain sensing wipers, and the wheel itself is power adjusting as well as heated. The pedals do also power adjust, and there's your electronic parking brake. Now moving on to storage, the F-150 continues to be one of the best vehicles money can buy. Opening up the center console here, as you can see, it's absolutely enormous. You've got this sliding tray, then you can just pull this off, and as you can see, this goes down like an entire foot, and then it's probably 1.5 feet wide as well. So I mean, it's incredible how much you could fit in here. Definitely could fit an entire purse, laptop, tablet, anything like that. And then there is also a 12-volt outlet as well. Up above, in front of that, you've got your cup holders, and then you can slide this piece of wood back to reveal another really deep area, great for a cell phone. And then within there, you've also got your 2 USB ports. Now, unlike a lot of recent Fords, the F-150 continues with a traditional shifter. So you just pull back for drive, and then you can pull back once more for your manual mode, where you can shift via this toggle right here. You can also click this button to activate the drive modes, and this will just allow you to cycle through different things like your tow, snow wet, eco, sport, and normal modes. And then when we go into reverse, on this Platinum F-150, we do have the 360-degree camera system, which is included as part of the 701A package. This is a very nice setup. As you can see, you've got both your traditional view, your 360 view, as well as a visualization of your parking sensors. You can press this plus to zoom in, and this line here represents where your towing hitch would hook up. You can additionally cycle through a couple more views, including your corner view, so you don't scrape into anything. And if you still feel incapable of parking, you've got your automatic parking, which is for both vertical and parallel parking spots. As far as your other features over here, this is your standard four-wheel drive controls. You got your trailer brake controller, and then right here in the middle we have the optional trailer backup assist. Now, this is really neat. If you haven't heard about it before, basically you just turn this knob where you want your trailer to go, and then the system will take care of the actual steering itself. Turning over here to your climate controls, these are dual zone automatic. Very simple to use. You just have two big knobs as well as all of your controls laid out here. If for some reason you want to make adjustments up here on the screen, you can also do that. And then inside of this menu, this is where you would find your button to activate the heated steering wheel. Additionally, the Platinum does come standard with both 3-stage heated and 3-stage ventilated seats. But anyways, that brings us up to our 1000 watt 10 speaker Bang & Olufsen sound system. So let's go ahead and take a sample. These new Bang & Olufsen sound systems and Fords really sound excellent. But anyways, that brings us up here to our Sync 3 system, so let's go ahead and take a quick look. Checking out the Sync 3 system, this is the same as you've seen in all other Fords. So you continue to have a nice home screen, and then you've got all your shortcut buttons across the bottom. This is also where you would turn on and off your heated steering wheel if you have that equipped. So starting out in audio, you can play and pause your music straight from here. And then you can click into here to see all your other audio sources, including your applications like Pandora or Spotify. Now, one thing worth noting is we have navigation. This is available through the 802A package only on the Raptor. However, if you do opt for it, it is a very nice system. But if you choose not to, you will still have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay to give you the ability to use Google or Apple Maps. And then the one last thing I want to touch on is here in the settings. You will now find in 2019 the Ford Pass Connect. That basically is your mobile hotspot, as well as gives you the ability to control certain things via an app on your phone. You do have 3 gigs or 3 months of a trial period, and you can turn it on and off here, as well as find your password as well. But that's pretty much all I'm going to cover in this video for Sync 3. However, we do have a detailed Sync 3 Tech Help video available for those of you who want to learn more. A link to that is provided in the video description. Beyond the display, you do have 3 more buttons up here. We've already talked about this one as for your camera system, and then this one here defeats the auto start stop system if that's something that annoys you. Up top, we do have an auto dimming mirror, as well as our 3 universal home link remotes. And then another really nice feature that our F-150 has is the optional panoramic moonroof. As you can see, it is really large. And then this front portion opens up entirely as well to make for a really nice open air feel. And there is a windscreen as well. But overall, the cabin of the F-150 Platinum continues to be an excellent place to spend time. Now, of course, there are new competitors on the block from Chevy and Ram, but this cabin still feels very much up to date and world class. But anyways, now I'll go ahead and hand it off to Mason, who will finish up the rest of the cabin. Alright, so in the back of the 2019 F-150 Platinum, you're going to find a super spacious rear seat. The technical measurement comes in at 43.6 inches of rear legroom, which is a ton, and nobody is going to have any trouble fitting back here. Now turning over to the door trim, it is really nicely appointed. You do have a leather padding where your arm will rest. Above it is a nice grained plastic. You do have some more of that beautiful wood trim, as well as your power window. Now below that, since this is a truck after all, you do have plenty of storage. So you have a little bin here, as well as a larger bin down here, and a cup holder. Now the seats themselves, since this is a truck as well, it does fold right up. And that does give you plenty of space back here. As you can see, we hit our tripod, which is almost its full extension all the way across through here. And you know, if you leave this area open, you could probably fit like 2 bicycles back here. It's crazy. And to fold it down, just grab it and pull down. And I do also want to mention on the Platinum, you do have these rear inflatable seat belts. Now to get in, the Platinum does also have the power running board, so it's really easy. So just stand on those and grab this handle. Now in the middle, we do have plenty of stuff going on since this is the fully loaded model. So we do have 2 cup holders up top, and down below that we do have 2 air vents, as well as tons of connections. So starting out, you have 2 charging USB ports. Above that you have a 12-volt outlet, and beside that you have a household style outlet. In addition to that, 2 stage heated rear seats are standard on the Platinum trim. Now coming over to the middle, we do have a nice leather wrapped armrest. It's very soft, and in the end you do have some cup holders. Now up top, we also have the optional twin panel moonroof, which really helps air out the cabin, and it makes it feel very spacious back here. And off to the side, we do have an LED light, a coat hook, and a nice headlight. Now like I mentioned previously, the F-150 Super Crew has an enormous rear seat. So behind Drew's position, I have about 2 or 3 feet of space, which is insane, and my feet can happily slide up under the seat. There's plenty of room. I can stretch almost fully out, so that's just how much space this thing has. And sliding over, even with the seat all the way back, I still have a good 8 to 10 inches of rear leg room, and once again my feet can slide easily up under the seat. So overall, the rear seat of the F-150 Platinum is a wonderful place to spend time. It has every luxury feature you could ever imagine or want in a truck, and it's super spacious, so everyone will be comfortable. We will talk about the pricing here in a minute. Now of course the passenger seat is the same design as the front, so we do have Platinum branding, as well as a nice perforated design. And it is also 10-way power adjusting with 4-way power lumbar support. Now in front of the passenger, since this is the loaded Platinum model, we have a stitched dashboard. It's very soft. Down below that we have a little storage, as well as a good sized glove box. Now above that we do have a sun visor with a LED lighting, as well as a mirror, and it does also extend and detach. But anyway guys, that sums up all I have to talk about in the rear areas. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the powertrain and do a test drive. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and talk about this vehicle's different powertrains. There are several different ones to pick between. This Platinum will start out with your 5-liter V8, and that makes 395 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. Now, the vast majority of buyers opt for the optional 3.5-liter EcoBoost V6 engine. that is twin turbocharged, and that makes 375 horsepower, but 470 pound-feet of torque. Additionally, there is a third option, and that is your new Power Stroke diesel that's just rolled out late last year, and that makes 250 horsepower and 440 pound-feet of torque. Regardless of your engine choice, you have a 10-speed automatic transmission and your choice between 2- and 4-wheel drive. Now obviously I'm not going to talk about all of the different combinations because there are a ton, but this particular model, which is our 3.5 liter EcoBoost V6 with 4-wheel drive, and that's going to get 17 city, 23 highway, 19 combined. But anyways, let's go ahead and take this on a quick spin. Alrighty, so getting up to speed in the 2019 F-150 with the 3.5 liter EcoBoost. Power feels really good. I have to say I'm very impressed. You know, most things that are big, they feel terribly slow to get up to speed, you know, just because even if it has a lot of power or whatever, it just is usually not enough. But this, with the aluminum body, you know, it's not as heavy as the rivals, and then the 3.5 liter EcoBoost really scoots. Lots of torque too, so you really get that sensation of speed, that pushing you back in the seat. As far as cruising along, how the transmission behaves, it seems to behave quite well. You know, it's a 10-speed automatic, but it doesn't seem too much different from a lower amount of speeds, an 8 or a 6-speed automatic. It keeps track of what it's doing pretty well. It doesn't seem to get confused or anything like that.
So not only are we really impressed with the powertrain, especially with this EcoBoost engine, but we're also very impressed with basically how this car rides. So this is a Platinum, so it has a very distinct mission to be comfortable and very luxurious, and I have to say it delivers on that. We've been in a lot of luxury SUVs, you know, Cadillac Escalade, those type of vehicles, and they're big and they feel like this, and this is a lot less expensive and it feels really quite comfortable in here. Like the suspension, you can tell it's dampened to be very comfortable, and you know, just riding along, I'm very comfortable in here. You feel like you're the king of the road, and that is what a lot of people are looking for, especially in the Platinum F-150.
Yeah, and as far as a body roll, of course there is, you know, plenty, because it is a very big truck, but it's not really bad. It's not something that's going to be sickening. It's not a bouncy type of deal. It's just something, it's just a matter of feeling fairly big. Now the last thing we can talk about here, I guess, is the fuel economy. Normally we don't get to talk about this, but it looks like someone has actually been driving this model for 188 miles. And so far the car's reporting they've averaged 15.4 miles per gallon. I mean, is that excellent? No, but that's not too far from the EPA estimate, and we don't know exactly how they were driving. I'm going to assume probably pretty aggressively. It's really, when you have this type of power on tap, it's really enjoyable to, you know, you want to use it. So as with all turbo engines, if you're heavily in the throttle all the time, then you're going to lose, of course, some of your efficiency benefit. But the big thing about the turbos is that if you want to drive more efficiently, then they will match, you know, what you want to do. But overall, I have to say, there's a good reason why Ford sells so many of these trucks every year. I mean, this is the type of vehicle that can get work done, you know, during the day. And then you can go out on the town fashionably and with your family. Very comfortable vehicle. This is just a great all-around vehicle. There's really nothing that the F-150 can't do, especially when you equip it in a high-end trim
yeah,
with your luxurious Platinum.
I mean, heck, you have more space than a Mercedes S-Class in the back seat, and almost as many features as well. So you really cannot beat the Platinum F-150, or really any F-150 for that matter. Well guys, we hope you enjoyed watching the first in-depth look at the 2019 Ford F-150 Platinum. Stay watching for a quick look at the pricing, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons below. We'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.